Now, the Red Hat operating systems like Fedora and Red Hat Enterprise Linux use a different system to manage their services. So we're going to use the utility systemctl. And if I just run systemctl, of course, it's going to ask me for my password here. And you can see we've got a list of all of the services that are running on this particular system. So let's just skim through here and let's just pick a service that isn't going to cause too much damage if we play with it. So I'm going to take a look at the SSHD service. You'll see rather than just SSHD, it's sshd.service. That's to distinguish itself from a device, for example, as here, or a mount as in here. So servicectl manages all of those. And again, we're going to be playing around with sshd.service. So I can say systemctl restart sshd.service. Now it's been restarted, and we can just take a look at the status on it. And it's going to tell me that it's actually loaded, it's active, I've got a process ID, I've got the main PID, I've got a small amount of log output. So you can see this is much more detailed than I was previously getting with the older service scripts on different Linux distributions that used like the old init system for starting up the system and managing services. So I've got systemctl, I can do status. Now, what I want to do is I want to see whether a service has actually been enabled to start up at boot. So I can do systemctl, and I can say is enabled SSHD service. You can see that it is enabled, and I could actually disable it if I wanted to, saying disable sshd.service. So it's removing the entry that's going to start the service up in order to turn it back on. I can enable it. And now we've created a symlink here to actually start it back up. So I can enable, I can stop, I can start. We can just take a look at stopping the service here. We did a restart. If I were to stop it at this point and then I do a status, it should tell me that it's actually stopped. And sure enough, it says it's been loaded, but it's inactive. You can see here, it says it's inactive. I do get some log output as I did previously, and it does say stopping the server daemon and then that it's actually stopped. So systemctl does all of the stuff that we were able to do previously with the init scripts, as well as quite a bit more, and it does take into account more than simply the services that are on the system. It also handles devices and the drivers associated with it. And it's a pretty powerful tool to be able to use. We can do a lot of querying of the services and manage them using the systemctl utility.